Welcome, y'all. Another lovely day. Remember, we can always co-create our own reality as long as it's righteous. You know, it's got to be righteous. You'll probably hear me say that a lot because if you've been on this journey for a while and you done been through some things, you'll see why it's always best to be righteous. And I thank those, and I know you're doing great because if you alive and breathing, we are back to fight another day. And thank my soldiers and soldierettes for coming in to another EBX discussion. And I give honor to my ancestors, thy mother, thy father, and I give honor to our families, anyone that we held dear that transitioned. May they rest in peace and in power. And I got to place that gold over us. I got to do this every time because I won't feel right if I don't. I got to place that gold over our families. Your family, our families. That they prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. And I honor thy brother, honor thy sister, if I didn't say that already. I think I said mother and father. I just don't want to forget those things. And honoring our ancestors because we call things into existence, and it's called giving that spiritual appreciation for those that got us to the state that we're in. That can't be denied. So we talk about our ancestors. We gotta appreciate our ancestors, and that's past, present, or maybe even future. Yeah, because what I say, folks, we don't want to be forgotten, especially if we're here to put a righteous impact on this world, which a lot of us are. My reachers and teachers, salute. And that's what brings me to, ladies and gentlemen, that we've been through the fire. It is time to quit playing and manifest that teacher and leader spirit that we have within. It's time to quit playing. Now, we're going to talk about ways to manifest that leader spirit and that teacher spirit that we all have within. And how do we know we a leader or a teacher? Well, if you have a desire to breathe life into another, whether it's brother or sister, and you change their life and they actually take your advice, guess what, brothers and sisters? You have just taught someone. You have just passed on empowerment to an individual. Always, like I say, one person at a time. Always be willing to pass on something positive. If you want good things to come into your life and you want good karma to happen, sometimes we got to make it happen. It ain't going to just fall on our lap. And, you be on this walk for a while, you will see. And, a lot of us discuss things and teach things and speak on subjects and stuff. And a lot of us do have fun sometimes, We always got to have that balance, I laugh and joke a lot. Like I say, I love comedy. I love funny things. But that pineal gland is always open and ready to receive and ready to teach my brothers and sisters, my soldiers and soldierettes. Salute. Because it's the gift that keeps on giving when you know oneself. And those that's been on this walk, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We've been through too much shit to get drawn in to bullshit. Real talk. And it's a tweet that I seen Ice-T made on Twitter one time, and it was the realest tweet I ever saw. It said, once you get through your own bullshit, then you can deal with the other bullshit. Thus, you can deal with things on the outside once you deal with that inner, as you always hear me talk about and others. Because once you get there, once you do that, you'll begin to overstand and understand. But you're never going to get there if you're not at that state. If you're not even using that word in your vocabulary, it's most likely you haven't made it there yet. Because only those that are in a very, very high vibration use that word in our vocabulary, because we truly do understand. And it's not just trying to sound smooth or sound intelligent. No, you'll know when you know. You have to be led by great things. You have to have that desire, really. Have that, I fumble my words sometimes. You have to have that desire and that fire And you have to get up off, we have to get up off our ass. You know, we have to make things happen. And we can't blame things on the outside of us. I always say, folks, there's a leader and a teacher inside all of us, melanated brothers and sisters. We gotta gear our spirit in that direction and not get distracted by things. You know, like I said yesterday on the podcast, one little small thing and fuck up your whole life. And I want to take this little cliche, little example from the movie Thin Line. Y'all remember the movie Thin Line, Between Love and Hate? Now that little phrase that's in that movie probably could relate to a lot of things, but this relates back to what I talked about yesterday on the podcast about sneaky conversations and direct messages and messengers and stuff. Okay, now this phrase relates to that, but a lot of things in life. You know, a nighttime of passion will give you a lifetime of pain. Now that can relate to a lot of things. One wrong choice, one toxic act, one evil act, I mean really just fucked up, that can have a really negative impact on your life. Man, I'm telling you, one small thing fuck up your whole life. And you spend your whole life, depending on what it is, if it's really messed up, spend your whole life trying to get back that negative energy that you indulged in. So let's just be righteous from the beginning. And for those that just coming in the beginning of self-awareness, always look to learn. You know, those are the times when you're in the beginning, when you're not really like, you know, and it's unfortunate because I've been in this place. I never, you know, make fun of this or make light of it. If those are in the beginning and feeling a little weary or whatever, those are the times where you got to kind of keep to yourself just till you learn yourself real well. And, you know, when you teach yourself how to be sociable and stuff like that. Because, again, I had to be careful with my solitude. You know, we have to take solitude because that's a part of the walk. That's what keeps us charged. And a lot of spiritual things, a lot of things enter our minds. You know, a lot of good things sometimes. If we're on that righteous walk and we got mean in our heart and no evil or malice or jealous or hate, none of that shit that's in a way, that's a hindrance. As long as we don't have none of that in our system, a lot of times when we are by ourselves, we will get those spiritual thoughts. I'm for real. We get them. And I know a lot of us get them. Because, like I said, some have degrees, some don't. But all of us have, especially if we're melanated, all of us have that spiritual downloads that we get from that great divine, Mother Nature, the universe. Salute. I love my great creator. And say that sometimes. Say, I love our great creator. Because we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for Mother Nature and the universe. So that's why I say, stick to what's righteous as much as we can. And go back to those, like I said, those in the beginning. You have, you know, be to yourself sometimes, but be careful that you don't become anti-sociable. Still socialize, you know, just in life in general, not just online. Because you don't want to become anti-sociable, because you want to keep your social skills sharp, you know, be able to communicate with those. Because we do have loved ones and children, and, you know, like I say, I volunteer at my 7-year-old school. So, you know, I have to be able to interact with children and talk, you know. And I found that out the other day, my brothers and sisters, last week. And you have to be ready because kids have questions and kids are very honest. And it's cool, though, you know. It's like I said, folks, we can learn from our youth, man, just as much as they can learn from us. And just the little few weeks that I have been around the children at my son's school, I've already picking up and learning things already, and learning myself also. And it's really great. And I'll always keep us updated on my volunteering. I'm going to pick up 2 days now. I was doing 1 day a week. I'm moving up to 2 days because, yeah, these, like I said, these teachers, these principals, man, if y'all only knew the stuff that they go through with these kids. I mean, these kids, woo, man, those that are around kids or have children or nephews or friend of the family or something like that that's around kids, we know. And it's a lot of inner issues with these kids. And a lot of times I can see it before I even talk to them. So that's why I picked up another day and I'm gonna try to get more and more involved as much as I can, because these kids need us, y'all. Like I said, we've been through the fucking fire. We have no time for bullshit and little petty debates. Let's have discussions, ladies and gentlemen, not stupid, endless, pointless arguments. We have to be careful of those that's not aware and not trying to become aware and just on bullshit and going in people's chat rooms and saying stuff to throw us off. We got to deflect that bullshit. Delete, block. It's a reason why we have that mechanism. Don't ever give in unless it deserves a response or need a response. Because I always say, brothers and sisters, always know what to respond to and what not to respond to. And we have to learn what to burn our energy on. And always focus on manifesting that leader and teacher spirit within. Man, I'm telling you, you will be amazed of the abilities that, that you will bring out of yourself when you do things on purpose. When you just, you know what, I'm going to do something different today. You have to be like that. Step outside into that great different zone that, that sometimes we think about, but we don't step into it. Just step into it. Just do it, but just do it righteously. You will be amazed. And what I always say, folks, always be in the spiritual realm of looking for solutions. Solutions should always be in our spirit and not just walking willy-nilly, unaware, just doing any and everything, because you be lost. You be in a damn maze. You be like a rat in a maze. Don't be no rat in no maze. Always look, for ways to get solutions in every situation. If you have to look it up, listen to someone. Never just sit and contemplate and let yourself become confused. Never do that. When you're on a fearless, righteous walk, there's no room for confusion. No, you figure out everything. You fight everything head on. I don't give a damn what it is. You will come out on top. But unfortunately, some might get hurt, because I always say, folks, not everybody's self-aware. And it's something that I wanted to speak on as far as hip-hop, because I love hip-hop. You'll hear me talk about hip-hop from time to time. And I was just thinking about, first off, I want to give a salute to the beat makers and all artists before I say what I'm going to say. And what I'm getting ready to say is all out of love for the love of hip-hop. And I don't know everything there is about hip-hop. I say that every now and then just to let people know. I don't think I know everything about hip-hop, but I love it. And again, I've made songs. My son, Lord Lamont, right here on my channel, if you want to hear it, I just posted some songs. One song me and him did when we reconnected. And because I hadn't seen my son for a whole bunch of years, and we just reconnected about 2 or 3 years ago. So, and we did a couple of songs, but I uploaded one. And I played a song at the beginning of a podcast I did. And you can go check that out. And it's called The Power. Nothing Can Stop the Power of Positivity. And I'm just discussing the love of hip hop. So you can go and check that podcast out, which is right on here. And, just trying to share the gifts that great divine has given me and my son, which a lot of us have gifts out here. I will always say that and mention that. Know that you have gifts. Don't live your life by the expectations of others. I said that yesterday. Or social media. Know your true fucking value, brothers and sisters. Real talk. And then once you know your value, we can teach it to those that we are connected to, especially the youth. That's why it's important to know our true value, to know our self-worth. Because if we down and out and letting us beating up on ourselves, how we gonna teach those that are before us? Because remember, folks, like I say, go back to children. Children can pick up vibes too. A lot of times their vibes are a lot stronger. Their intuitions are a lot stronger than ours. They just don't know how to guide it. They don't know they have it because children are so honest and so free, and they don't think like we do, so they don't realize how heightened their senses is. They have intuition and they don't even know why they have it because they're so carefree and they're not thinking about things like adults do. So that's why, if I explain that well, a lot of things don't get in their way of their vibration that they have. So that's why they need us, brothers and sisters, reachers and teachers. Salute to teach them and guide them and help them manifest that inner power that a lot of children have. It's just a lot of things in this world that's distracting them from it. Like we say, don't want them to know their true power. So that's the best class for our youth, is to teach empowerment, so they'll be able to have the power within themselves and that confidence within themselves, that divine confidence. Mother Nature, great creator. That's what we teach into our youth. And anyone else that, they ain't just youth, but like I say, my goal is to touch the hearts, the minds, and the souls of the young and the old. And let me go back and finish. I want to finish talking about hip hop, because I love hip hop with all my heart. And I want all the artists out there that's doing music, that's putting bad energy in your music and calling girls B's. Now, I want to reiterate. My son said the B word on a song I just recently posted, but he was in a different mind frame when he said that in the song. But what he was doing is he was explaining, he said it, but he was also explaining the mind frame that he was in. If you listen to the lyrics on his verse, he had the second verse, I had the first verse, and it's called Your Mind Right. And I got it on my channel. I just posted it a couple days ago. But he was just explaining the mind frame. That's his mind frame he was in. But my son, Lord Lamont, which we'll hear more of him, and we'll be doing a show this weekend, Saturday, so look for that. And he was just explaining the mind frame that he was in. This is 2 or 3 years ago. So I don't want people to be taken back if you hear him say that in that song, because he no longer thinks like that now. But if you keep listening to the lyrics, you'll hear what he was saying, and you'll get the meaning of where he was coming from, and me also. But I'm just, okay, now I want to go back to what I want to say to my artists out there that's putting bad energy. I'm talking about on purpose and don't care and flashing money and jewelry and got girls bouncing their asses and all that old mess. And I'm not just saying this because I'm, maybe I'm up there a little bit, because if I knew back then what I knew now, do you know how powerful I would be, ladies and gentlemen? Which a lot of us, I'm just saying. But I want to tell my artists, and this is my young ones, and if you got them grown adolescents doing it too, shame on you, because you should know better. And that's why a lot of the young youth out here clowning and acting a damn fool, because look at some of the adults. But I ain't going to get too much on that. But if you're wasting, especially my young youth, if you're wasting energy on negative, toxic things in your music, brothers and sisters, you're never going to be able to get that back. And remember, we all have an expiration date. And I was thinking about, maybe some of my, I would say, favorite artists I used to listen to back in the day. And I would go through and I would listen to a lot of the gangster songs and all that gangster stuff. Just think of all that negative, all that energy they wasted on negative shit. And just think about it. Look at the times we are in now. Like, I think about Public Enemy. I am so glad that Public Enemy didn't waste their energy, because look, now it's paying off. Now it really means well. And guess what? Righteous energy never dies. Negative energy dies and it goes away. People forget about it. People might remember the beat. They might remember you had some smooth lyrics. But if it wasn't righteous, even in people not even that aware, it'll diminish. It'll be forgotten. Because what are some of the songs that we really remember the most from Tupac? His positive ones, just like Michael Jackson. Most of his positive songs are the ones that stand out. And, I'm telling you, even though Mike didn't have a lot of negative songs, to be honest, he had a lot of maybe some entertaining songs, dance songs. So I can't put Mike in that category. But a lot of gangster rap back in the day. I have to say, brothers and sisters, I appreciate your music that you did. I loved a lot of songs, but remember, back in them days, I wasn't aware and I didn't realize the vibration. So I thought that's the way it was supposed. That's just how it was. Like a lot of us, brothers and sisters. But now, fast forward to now that we are awakened, I have to say, gangster rap is a waste of time. Now, we can talk about real things that's going on in the hood in the world. It's not what we say, it's how we say it. But righteous is always the best way to go. So that's all I'm saying. If you still trying to be a gangster and still trying to live that street life, especially if you don't really live that life and being something you're not, and you're putting bad energy in it, especially if it's going to the youth and it's going to young kids and it's influencing them, you pretty much waste. It's a whole waste of time. Why waste all your time in studios and writing all these lyrics on bad, negative, toxic, evil energy? It's a waste. Then you do this for years on end. Then you get down to the end. Now you're trying to retract and regroup and change because you've grown. So that's why I say, folks, for those that's beginning in your craft or your career, just be righteous from within. Now, I'm not saying be corny. I'm not saying don't talk about what's real. Might even use a little profanity. But brothers and sisters, always start with a righteous heart. And why? Because that's the gift that keeps on giving. And you won't be living in the what? The woulda, coulda, shoulda days. So, and remember, we've been through the fucking fire. You know, we have no time for bullshit, especially these days. You know, we have fun, but we have to stay on point too, you know, because the moment we get comfortable and relax, that's when the attack will come. We can be relaxed, but be on point too. And that can be done, but you have to have that success state of mind. You know, you can't be indulging in negative, toxic things, because it will come back and bite you in the ass. So people better take karma serious. Karma's no joke, folks. Karma is a wicked female, and she going around and getting all those that's been doing wrong. Just take a look around. I ain't just talking, and I done been there too, which a lot of us have. What I always say, that's why a lot of us are out here reaching and teaching, because what? We have been through the fucking fire, and we don't want no one else to go through the fire. So I say again to my artists out here being negative and putting toxic shit in these songs, because I got kids. You know, I love music. Like I say, I might use a little profanity, you know, but I'm going to have a good meaning. And a lot of times when I use profanity, it's to prove a point and to shock a person into reality, you know, because I'm always, my divine don't play. Our divine don't play. And you'll know, you be on this walk long enough, keep on living, and you'll see. And always and forever, try our best to manifest that teacher and leader spirit. Always be willing to teach those. You don't have to have no degree. You don't have to be super intelligent. Just take what you learned in life righteously and teach it to those that we are connected to. That's all you got to do. And then after that, when you get that result, when you see you've made that impact on an individual's life, whether it's brother or sister, young or old, then we begin to search for knowledge. We say, hey, I like that. Then we study ways to come up with other tactics and different tactics. Because remember, every youth and individual that we come in contact with is different. It has different issues. So we have to be ready for that. That's something I'm learning, you know, volunteering at the school. Every child is different, male or female, brother or sister. We have to be ready for that too. Not everyone's the same as far as the adults. So we have to be ready for that too. And sometimes that do take a little studying. You know, Google some things. You know, sometimes you have to. It's okay to Google some things sometimes. You know, because sometimes we want to make sure we are correct most of the time. You know, and if we are incorrect, it's okay. Don't be taken back, and you know, just go back and say, oh, okay, my bad, fix it, and get back on board, folks. You know, because it's all about reaching and teaching, and for the betterment of all of us. So that's my thought. That's just something I had in my spirit. I'm telling you, and if you feel like you getting off track, if you feel a hinkling, I'm telling you, don't let stress enter your system, please. And never forget the shit we've been through. You know, we've been through the fire. We've been through it all, especially the melanated people. We are some strong individuals. We got to know this. You know, I don't care what's coming. And you know, it look like things won't get better. But brothers and sisters, they will. They will. They will. It's just taking a lot of sifting. That great divine is at work. Trust me. But it's a lot of work to be done. So just stay reaching and teaching. My teachers out there, salute. Stay with it. you are making an impact, even if you don't think you are. You are. You are. We all are. Those of us that want to see greatness in our brothers and sisters, young and old. So just remember that we've been through the fire, So there's nothing that we can't handle or take on, and we're doing just that because we are soldiers and soldierettes. Salute. And that's my thought. And I honor your family, my family, reachers and teachers. Salute. I honor my children, their mothers. I honor those that come in and listen to a brother that came into another EBX discussion. Much love and a salute. And may you have many blessings in your life and everyone that you're connected to. And I honor, like I said, my children, their mothers, your family, my family, brothers and sisters all over the world. May you have peace in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. One, salute.